And a pleasant good evening to you and yours. And welcome to the Brevard Sports Network and a special presentation of high school football. It's the 46th Barbecue Bowl here tonight from Richard Dick Blake Stadium. And regardless of records or where programs are or how many state championships teams have won, this is the game. Yes, there's the Battle of the Crossroads. Yes, there's the Battle of the Bob Hudson Trophy. But this game right here, the Barbecue Bowl, is the creme de la creme. It has become such over the last, 20, 25 years. A game that's been played since 1979. We'll see the 46th edition played here tonight. And joining me, as he has all year long tonight, my broadcast partner, the man, the myth, the living legend, one Nick Donahue. Nick, is this your first Barbecue Bowl?
This is my first Barbecue Bowl. Yes, absolutely. I haven't been able to be a part of it as a coach or even as a fan. So this is exciting to see.
Well, I'm excited as Rockledge gets set to take the field. Let's get some of the rumors and things like that out of the way. No, the Rockledge Raiders will not have head coach Tyrone Giscombe tonight. Listen, we don't know the details. We don't particularly care what the details are. All we'll say is that he's not here tonight, and we want to extend our thoughts and prayers to him and his entire family, and hope that everything works out for the best. So let's just get that out of the way now, because people, I'm sure, are going to want to know, and we're not going to discuss it. So, Coach, if you're watching, good luck to your Raiders tonight. All right, so, Nick, what are you looking for in this game tonight?
Well, what we need to see is Coco's defense step up tonight. You know, we've seen them get picked apart a few times. Now, let it be said that it's by some high state-ranked teams. But we really need to see their defense step up. And vice versa, we need to see Rockledge's offense step up. You know, we've seen them hold some teams down in their defense, but it's time for them to show some points against a team like Coco.
I would take issue with just one thing you said there, and that was by some state-ranked teams. Yes, we saw that, but we also saw Astronaut move the football. We saw Heritage move the football on them.
True.
So we have seen some teams that aren't in that creme de la creme move the ball between the 30s on this Coco defense. And I agree with you. I think that's something the Tigers need to shore up. Now, the Tigers, they always say that this program, they got great players, but they never have any luck. And I've heard that time and time and time again. And whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I will tell you this. They have an opportunity tonight to capitalize on some luck. And we'll talk about that, because a team that looked like they weren't going to be able to host through the regionals have a very good chance to do that. Both of these teams are already in the playoffs because they both have clinched district championships. The Raiders via victory last week over John Wilkinson's New Smyrna Beach Cudas, and the Coco Tigers with a district championship win last week over Astronaut. The Tigers have won the toss and elected to defer, and set to kick off will be senior Marcus Trout. I cannot see who is back deep for the Raiders yet, but we'll find out sure enough here. It is time for Total Leather, and the 46th Barbecue Bowl is underway. Ball will be booted out of the end zone. Back deep was going to be Jordan Woods. Speaking of Jordan, Nick, now we're going to see number 7, Jordan Padala come out, the former Melbourne quarterback, now here at Rockledge. And I said, how wild is it? Brady Hart transferred from Melbourne to Coco, and Padala transferred to Melbourne to take his place. And here they are facing off tonight. One is a Rockledge Raider and one is a Coco Tiger.
I'm excited to see him in person. I've heard a lot of great stuff about him, and I think he felt coming over here to Rockledge he'd have an opportunity to play for a state title and play with, maybe some of his buddies. But, he can control this offense, but he does need to score some points.
He's got 998 passing yards. He needs 2 for 1,000, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, an 89.4 quarterback rating. That's Jamarcus Giscombe in motion. Giscombe to the far side, turns, gives, and this is a big run. This is exactly what we were talking about, and this is exactly what the Raiders want to do to the Tiger defense tonight. They want to keep that offense off the field, and the only way they're going to do that, Nick, is do what they just did.
And, running the ball is their specialty over passing it, but that's absolutely right, Alan. I mean, they've got to run the ball. They've got to control this clock, and they've got to keep Coco's offense off the field as much as possible.
Jordan Woods the ball carrier, and our Jalen Bradley, the ball carrier. Jalen Bradley in the backfield now with Padala. The man in motion is Giscombe. See what they do here. And they're going to turn and give it to Bradley again, and Bradley's going to twist and turn in the hole, and the Tigers going to shut that down. And that'll be a gain of absolutely nothing if he didn't lose one. It'll be 2nd and 10 or 11.
You know, running the outside, they had just a little bit of success on that first down. You know, maybe they thought they would see what they've got going up the middle. You know, I know staying away from Hilson has got to be a plan of theirs, although, you know, the rest of the defensive line is nothing to shake a stick at for sure.
Now we don't know who the starters are up front in terms of the offensive line is concerned, but I'm going to tell you who the pancake leaders are after this play. 2nd and 10, that's a gain officially of no yards. And Giscombe one more time in motion to the near side. There is double stacked on top of each other on the far side. Play action, throws across to Giscombe, caught, nice pitch and catch. Padala crosses the 1,000-yard mark for the season, and he picks up a gain of 7. It'll be 3rd and 3, Nick.
Throwing for 1,000 yards in a season, Allen, is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's something that they should be proud of, you know, and they catch some flack on how well their offense runs and how many points they're scoring against, you know, the better teams that they're playing, but you know, still, you got 1,000 yards in the air. You know, it's something to be proud of for sure.
The pancake leader is my man, Torrey Love, up front. Also up there is White, Oakley, Trinkus, and Valdez has got some pancakes as well. So if that helps with the starters, it is 3rd and 3. It's Giscombe and now Jordan Woods in motion. They'll get set. Padala snaps, turns to Bradley. Bradley close, still on his feet. No first down. Now, this is going to be interesting because this is going to be 4th and about a yard. And if you're the Rockledge Raiders, you come into this game already as a district champ. But listen, seedings still matter.
Absolutely.
And who you play in the first round is still going to matter. So they're going to want to win this football game. But I think in order for the Raiders to do that tonight, they're going to have to take some chances. And I think this is one right here they need to take, Nick.
Right off the bat, you know, we're looking at the 40-yard, their own 40-yard line. This is a big gamble. You know, you get it, you look like a hero. You miss it, then wow, you just made an awful move, right? So it's going to be a tough situation to be in.
I'm on record right now saying whatever happens here, I like the play call. Trips to the near side, Giscombe in motion, turns, gives up the gut, and this is going to be close. Forward progress, they're going to say, yes, indeed, he's got it. First down, Rockledge Raiders.
Wow, what a call.
Gutsy call. I liked it. You like it?
I did like it, actually.
Yeah.
I did. But, you know, that's the offensive coordinator in me. You know, I would, if we're past the 35-yard line, I'll go for it every time, barring some kind of long distance.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10 for Rockledge. Woods to the right, and Giscombe will join him. Padala with Jalen Bradley in the backfield. Padala turns, gives, nice quick handoff, but the Tigers, Javian Hilson, reads it like a Dr. Seuss book, and it's going to be a loss of 5, 2nd and 15.
That's something that you can't do against Cocoa. You can't make a cut in the backfield east and west. If you make that cut, it's got to stay north. You got to keep your momentum going, making that east-west cut in the backfield. I'm not sure you're going to have the opportunity to make any plays doing that.
No, east-west is something nobody has been successful at on Cocoa, and I don't know that they're going to be successful against the speed of the Raiders defense either. A lot of times the Tigers are beat north-south. We saw it, you know, that even that first play, that wasn't a play that went east-west. That was off tackle straight ahead.
They are loving this motion, huh?
Yeah, they are, and doubles, and they feel comfortable with it. Padala looks in trouble, and he's going to get absolutely destroyed in the backfield back there. Looks like number 16 is that Cameron Barlow back there on the sack. That's the one thing, if you talk to defensive coordinator Matt Diesel, he's going to tell you he wants to see more of right now starting tonight going down the stretch, and that's putting pressure on the quarterback. The Tigers have not been very good at that all year. The sack leader is Javian Hilson, and he comes in with just 7. That number should probably be in double digits.
Yeah, 5-star, you know, you would expect to be up in that 12 mark. You know, but he's dealt with a lot of double teams and even triple teams this year.
Well, it should free up other people, though.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so it's 3rd down and 20 now following the loss and the sack. Padala, no choice but to throw on the out route, caught, hauled in by, ball's out, recovered by the Cocoa Tigers. Makai Kurkowski lost the football, and the Tigers recover it. So all of that for Natwick as the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 at, looks like at about the 37-yard line.
You know, we know turnovers are such an important aspect of football. You win the turnover battle, and it's something around 78% of the time you win the game.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going deep, and this is going to Boggs in the end zone. And I didn't talk to Adam Franco before the game. Normally I like to try to get the first play, but if they're not going deep to Boggs here to try to put this thing on the board early, there are no wide receivers in the backfield. It is a 5 wide receiver set.
Well, I'll tell you, Rockledge did a great job. They've got 3 over 2 right where Boggs is. So they have that same feeling.
Oh, and look, what do I know, right? Oh, and there you go, Nick. We just talked about it. What a great play by that Raider defense. That's number 14, Joshua Williams, coming in there. You can't go east and west on speed. The jet sweep's not going to work.
You know, for how fast Cocoa is, Rockledge equally as fast. You know, same thing applies. You make those cuts. Sometimes you just got to make it and get your 1-2 yards forward. You know, and live to play another down without losing 3 yards here.
2nd and 13 for Brady Hart. We're going to talk about him in a minute. Hart looking, all kinds.
Got him.
Wide open, caught, 10, 5, touchdown, Cocoa Tigers. Javen Boggs, and it's 6-0 in the blink of an eye.
Little double move there, showed post, ended up running a corner. Beautiful route. He had the DBs flipped up. That's tough. You know, he's such a great receiver.
And he's 200 pounds this year.
And it's something that you're always going to have to deal with, having 2 on him. You know, whether you do it on bracket style or high-low, however you decide. But unfortunately, you got to keep 2 guys on him, which, you know, is great for Nicky Teeter and Zach Pillow and DJ Hart, you know, DL Harson. You know, that opens it up for them.
Yeah, I mean, that was easy peasy lemon squeezy right there. Martell Stevens says it can't be that easy. It certainly looked that way. Martell says space is going to be legendary. All right, Marcus Trout on for the extra point here. 6-0. I tell you, I mean, there was no resistance at all there. And Brian Schneider goes, I believe that's the walk of Larry Torchia. I'm not sure who the officials are, but that definitely looks like a Larry Torchia walk. Want to say hello to the Cocoa High School alum class of 94.
Almost getting to my graduation year. We're almost there.
What's your graduation year?
I'm at 96. Does that hurt?
Yeah, it stings a little. just a little bit. Yeah. I'll just shut up. Here we go with the extra point. 6:33 remaining in the first quarter. And the Tigers on the second play of the game, of their offensive possession, I should say. That's what I thought they should have done on the first play.
They do love that jet sweep, though. They run that on a very continuous basis.
And the kick is up, and he kicked that one back over to Raider Boulevard, and with 6:33 to go. I was going to put the tail of the tape up. Well, I guess I still am, as these 2 teams come in. Again, the Raiders have already clinched a playoff spot, but you know, you don't want to fall to an 8 seed because you never want to play a 1 seed, right?
Absolutely.
The Rockledge has elected not to play the 10th game of the year. Remember, the FHSAA has extended the season a week, so a lot of teams will play a game on Thursday night, November 7th. That's going to be the final day of the year in high school football. Normally, that would be tonight, and the Selection Sunday show would be this Sunday. That's not the case this year, thanks to Hurricane Helena and Hurricane Milton. And I understand We got tropical disturbances.
Oh, don't even talk about it.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I refuse to pay attention to it right now. But yes, you're absolutely right. There is something down there brewing.
Yeah, so just be careful. Watch out. Do your thing.
Next week, actually. Next week, Thursday, Friday is the time frame.
Isn't that just beautiful? We could be playing football in January. Trout set to kick off.
It looks like we're backing it up.
And we have other news today. Yeah, they got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Other news today, we've added a district champion to the fold here in Brevard County. The Melbourne Central Catholic Hustlers are now district champs thanks to the First Academy and their FHSAA lockdown suspension. They're done. All 8 of their wins forfeited this year. Thanks to penalties on recruiting. You can check the story out on Brevard Sports Network. But the First Academy will not be taking that team to the playoffs this year, as Marcus Trout and Holy Trinity all of a sudden becomes in the playoff mix because they pick up the win from Monday night. And this kick is absolutely boomed all the way down. That's a great kick by Trout down to the 10. And this is Jamarcus Giscombe, and he gets outside nearly a horse collar. And Giscombe out to the 46. Great run back by Giscombe. And this is where Padala and the Raiders will take over. They need points. I'm going to say it. It's early. It's first quarter. But they need to get points here.
I would agree with you. But I think the most important thing is just possessing this ball. I think we need a 4-minute drive here. And I know we're already on the 45-yard line. But, we just got to keep the ball out of Coco's offense's hand.
No, Coco Apopka isn't going to be happening next week. We'll tell you why coming up. Bradford in a lot of trouble right now in terms of that number 1 seed. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Trips to the near side right here in your living room. If you can see right in front of you now, this is Woods in motion. Nice keeper by Badala. He'll pick up 4, but it'll be 2nd and 6. So Bradford scheduled a team tonight that, wasn't one of these powerhouses in the state. It was going to be their senior night, and, the team forfeited the game to Bradford, So Bradford will move to 9-1, but they're not going to pick up any points. It's a forfeit win. They're only a 1.5 points ahead of Cocoa in 2A Region 2. Bradford is not playing a 10th game next week. So Cocoa, even though Cocoa is playing, a better football team per se on paper than Rockledge this year, that Cocoa's playing up in class, which will give them more points in terms of a 2A against a 4A. So if Cocoa comes out of here tonight with a win, they will likely be real close to taking over that number 1 seed in 2A Region 2. And what looked impossible, Nick, a couple of weeks ago in terms of hosting all the way to the Final Four might become a reality.
And what a way to fall for Cocoa. That would be a great opportunity. Hosting all the way through is so much nicer and so much better. You're no travel. Sometimes you got to travel. I mean, we're talking hours and hours. You got to get out of school at Friday at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning to get to these schools in time. So,
not to mention the fact that funds are a little bit short, buses are expensive.
Right.
3rd down and 4 now. This is 4-down territory.
I found this quite interesting. They've been going Wildcat for the last 3 downs.
Yep.
We've seen Jamarcus at quarterback every play so far for this series.
That's going to be
for the first one.
It's going to be 4th and 3 now as Giscombe picks up a yard. I like the Wildcat, but are they going to punt?
It kind of looks like it.
I don't know if I like the punt here.
I mean, if you're going to go for it on 4th down and 1 at the 39-yard, you're on 39. I think I would probably go for it on 4th down and 2 on Coco's 48.
Yeah, no, I'm going to agree with you there. So the ball will be snapped from the Cocoa 47, punt from about probably end up the 45 of Rockledge. That's a good punt.
A great punt.
Dead punt. And it'll drop at the 20 and take a Rockledge bounce. And that's one inside the 20. It'll be down at about the 11. And that's where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10. Or, I'm sorry, the Tigers. Yeah, the Tigers will take over 1st and 10. Yeah, I thought the same thing, John. I thought maybe they'd fake the punt.
Yeah, that would have been a great opportunity. I think they felt they gave Coco a short field on the last series. Let's make them drive the whole way on this series.
Well, as wide open as Boggs was, I don't think it mattered where they were. Want to thank Gamerz RS. They're back with BSN supporting not just us, but all youth and prep sports. If you have a gamer in your life, and well, you're in luck because Gamerz RS is a growing gaming community focused on cardboard, tabletop, and video games. Gamerz RS hosts casual and competitive tournaments for Magic, The Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that's how you pronounce it, Dragon Ball Super, and more. I am not that type of a gamer. Now, I'll play in some Madden or some MLB The Show, but or some NHL 25. But, listen, Seth Gibson does a great job over there. So if you've got a gamer in your life, please make it Gamerz RS. All right, it's 1st and 10 from the 11. Brady Hart, who is having a phenomenal season. And the give is to, is that Coney or Lane? That's going to be Coney, Malachi Coney on the carry. That's the one thing that can, well, when you throw the ball like they do with the effectiveness that they have, I guess you really don't need a rushing attack. But I want to see the Tigers throw the football a little bit more. I think they're going to need it a little bit more in the playoffs.
Run the football, correct?
Run the football, run the football.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and I agree. And I think that's something we've kind of been saying all season. To have that success, you do have to have the ability to run the ball. Not that I'm saying they don't.
Lane on a swing pass out. Good block out there. That's going to be a first down. No block, no rock. Wide receivers over there throwing blocks, and that's going to be a first down for the Cocoa Tigers. How about the year Brady Hart is having this year? Hart came into this game with 2,594 passing yards. If he averages 353 yards a game the rest of the way, saying Cocoa goes to the state championship game, and he passes for that there, he'll become the all-time single-season record holder for passing yards in the state of Florida.
Absolutely crazy. Oh, good.
That's just a good play by the Rockledge defense. Took too long to develop on a counter. That's Latrician Lane on the carry. Did not see the Raider that got in there that made the stop, but it was a good play, 2nd and 11.
Beautiful blitz package right there. 2 linebackers coming in to affect that play. The offensive line got a little disjointed, blocked the same person, and let 2 come in free.
It was Josiah Allen on the stop, 2nd and 11 now for Hart. You can have Teeter in the slot. Boggs split right there to the left side of your screen. It'll be D.L. Hardison and Zach Pillow on the other side. Now we're going to get, what do we got here? Okay, 4 wide receivers, doubles each side. Hart turns, play action, looks, fires, throws, wide open across the middle. A perfect strike to Hardison. First down, Tigers.
Great catch right there. Contact immediately as he caught that ball. And that was hard contact, too. That was a big shoulder that he just threw right into DL. And to hold on to that ball, that's big time.
No doubt. Second down, or not second down. Check it, first down and 10. And we got whistles. Got a timeout on the field. Once again, we want to thank Gamerz RS. I'll tell you another individual I want to thank. That's Isaac Bermudez and Coastal Strength and Fitness. And if you had an opportunity to see my interview with him before the game tonight, please check it out. If you didn't, well, guess what? I'm going to replay it at halftime. Taking a look at the team leaders on the board. There you see them in tackles, sacks, tackles for loss, and offensively, your passing leaders. Hart averaging 324 passing yards a game. So in order to get that record, he's going to need 30 more yards a game. That's a tough task right there. But if anybody could do it, Brady Hart, Javen Boggs, and company. Ken Boggs well on his way to a 2nd consecutive Florida Dairy Farmers of the Year. And if he doesn't win it this year, if the Tigers win the state championship, then it's not an award based on straight play. There's got to be politics involved with it.
Absolutely.
Because Florida Dairy Farmers sort of kind of prides themselves on the fact that they've never had one player win it, in 2 consecutive years. And if anybody qualifies for the opportunity to do that this year, my goodness gracious, it's Boggs.
It's so tough to follow up such a great season that he had last year, and it has happened. He's equally as great this year.
1st and 15 now following the penalty. Hart looking under pressure, and he lets it go. Boggs. And he catches it. And I mean, Nick, I've run out of adjectives to discuss a dime, the concentration, the focus. That's a heck of a throw from Brady Hart. A great route by Boggs. And that is a huge completion for a first down.
Contact on that too. The defensive back felt it was a little offensive contact, but I think it kind of went both ways. To make that catch after that contact, God, he's just so impressive.
No doubt. So it's 1st and 10 in the blink of an eye. Ball at the 27-yard line of Rockledge. I mean, right now, Boggs has 2 catches for 73 yards.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
That was an absolute dime by Brady Hart. I mean, he dropped that thing in there about as well as any quarterback on any level throws a football. 1st and 10. Hart, play action, looking, fires across the middle, caught, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, down to the 5, 4, 3, and that's where Zach Pillow will be brought down, and it's going to be 1st and goal for Cocoa. 1:02 to play in the opening quarter, and the Tigers, who have won 4 straight barbecue bowls right now, making it look easy on the offensive side of the equation.
It's so impressive. Boggs averaging 21 yards a catch. Teeter averaging 15 yards a catch as a slot. Hardison averaging 18 yards. Zach Pillow 13 yards. Man, having 3 receivers averaging like that for the season is awesome.
That's just a good play right there by the Rockledge defense to get up the middle there. I do believe that was Conlon Oakley that got in there, the defensive end, big number 99, 6'3" junior gets in there, makes the stop, 2nd and goal for the Tigers. And ball still at the 3 because that's no gain. And this is laying up the gut. Does he get in? Indeed, he does. Touchdown, Cocoa Tigers. And with 15 seconds to play in the first quarter, Cocoa takes a 13-0 lead.
We said we wanted to see the running game. That's what we said earlier. Now we saw the pass bring them all the way down there, but to be able to punch it in, against a great defense like Rockledge with their running game, they're trying to show something right there.
43-yard touchdown or 43-yard pass to set up the touchdown, and of course the slant to Zach Pillow to put the Tigers at 1st and goal. And now Marcus Trout will come on to try to, and the kick is spot on once again, and the Cocoa Tigers on their 2nd offensive possession score their 2nd touchdown of the game. And goodness gracious.
And this is kind of what we talked about at the beginning. Rockledge has got to keep Coco's offense off the field. It's just that simple. We've got to get a few first downs. And again, putting points on the board, obviously is very important. But to me, I think keeping Coco's offense off the field is equally as important.
Yep. Couldn't agree with you more. Want to thank our next sponsor coming up. That's going to be Tales at the Barkery, one of the most unique and best names in all of Brevard County in terms of businesses. Tales at the Barkery. We're going to tell you all about them coming up here as they are going to be our 2nd quarter sponsor as Trout gets set to kick off. The Tigers on top 14-0. And that ball is out of the end zone, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20.
What a luxury to have. They had Trout last year, and now they got Trout this year. 2 great kickers back-to-backs in the same family. I know both of them want to play college ball, kicking the ball, and they both have the opportunity to do that.
Well, I know Gunner is punting right now for FAMU.
Correct.
Yeah, punting for FAMU right now. 15 seconds to go as the Raider offense comes back out onto the field. Tales at the Barkery.
What a great name that is.
It's
every time you say it, I say to myself, man, whoever thought of that deserves
Pam.
A lot. Yeah, deserves
just
a lot.
Great
sure.
job. 1st and 10. Turns, gives. Or no, he doesn't. Play action, fool me. And Giscombe is out of bounds. Should be no flag. There is no such thing, I found out.
Yes.
How about this? Is an uncatchable ball.
Correct.
So if it's pass interference and the ball's 40 yards out of bounds, it's pass interference.
Now, I think if Giscombe could have came back for that ball just a little bit more and put a little more pressure on that defensive back, they would have thrown that flag.
Yeah.
But there just wasn't enough contact to make that happen.
And 7 seconds to go in the first quarter.
We got 14-0 Titusville over Astronaut right now. Last I saw it was 10-0 O'Galley over Melbourne.
If you're interested in what these playoff seedings mean, stick around. Coming up at halftime after my interview with Isaac Bermudez, I'll break it down for you. Because if it's one thing, I may not know what the hell I'm talking about any other time, but as far as these playoff seedings go, man, I got this thing down to a T. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 here, and this is definitely not 4-down territory. And that's the end of the first quarter. Well, Nick and I are going to step aside. Heritage and MCC no score at the end of one. That's the game of the night right there. We'll step aside. We'll be right back here. You're watching the 46th Barbecue Bowl on Brevard Sports Network. That's my guy, Isaac Bermudez, and you see Isaac there. Man, I tell you, he's a great guy, and if he's an outstanding athletic coach. If that's your thing, Isaac's your man. I can promise you that. All right, Rockledge now looking at 3rd and 9, and this is a big play for the Raiders here. Padala, Bradley is up front, and this is just a straight give here. And that's going to be a gain of maybe 1, and it's going to be 4th down and 8. And I think if you're Rockledge here, I hate to say it, but you already see the shoulder sagging a little bit here, Nick.
Yeah, and this is where you need your captains, your seniors. And I know it's senior night here for Cocoa, but having those seniors on your team help keep those players up and lifted, especially when you don't have your head coach on the sideline to do it too. This is when those leaders really need to step up.
Melanie Anderson says, why doesn't Cocoa play O'Galley? And the reason is because you cannot play 11 regular season games.
And O'Galley has 10.
10, right. And, yeah, that's definitely torch. I saw the way that flag got thrown. It's going to be what's he calling here? Is he calling a false start?
I feel it. Oh, they did, I think.
Yep, false starts. That's going to back the Raiders up 5 here.
They're going to talk about it because I felt it was defensive.
Let's see what happens
I felt
here.
the end made the tackle move.
It's not going to. It shouldn't make any difference because if it's 5, it'll be 4th and 2, and I think you still got to punt this thing. It is going to be defensive here, or is it? Nope, false start. Okay.
On the offense.
All right, so now it'll be 4th and 13, or 4th and 12, I should say, for the Rockledge Raiders. Vieira, 14-7 over Merritt Island. I'm going to tell you, that is not a surprise to me.
Okay.
That is not a surprise. I'm going to tell you why here in a minute.
Okay.
I know it is to you, but it's not.
No, I wouldn't say it is necessarily. I've seen Vieira play numerous times this year, and I've seen the highs and lows of Vieira this year, and I know what they're capable of.
I thought they were going to block it.
Yeah, me too. That's why.
I did not know, another good punt, I did not know, and a good job by Coach Gullo, because I like to pride myself on thinking I know everything, right? I did not know how bad they were beat up and how healthy they've become at the end of the season here. So I think he finally has that offense where he wants it with Eric Nelson settled in. They're not trotting in two quarterbacks all the time now. And Ryan Bubar is one of the most underrated running backs in Brevard County. So it would not shock me tonight if Titusville or if Vieira beats Merritt Island. And I got to say this, if Merritt Island gets beat tonight, they could likely drop to an 8 seed, and that's a dangerous spot to be coming up on Selection Sunday. 11 minutes to go in the half. Hart with trips to the far side, turns, gives the lane. Lane cuts through. Nice job by Latrisson Lane to get and wiggle his way through for a gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 because in that region, 3A2 region, Titusville's pretty much got a playoff spot locked up. O'Galley's got a playoff spot locked up. But why do I keep saying Merritt Island sits 7, but one district champ is not represented in the top 8, and they have to be. So once that happens, Merritt Island drops another spot.
Puts them in the 9th spot, right?
Puts them in the 9th spot if they lose this game and fall to 8. So you can't do that because then they would be bumped for the district champ that hasn't been crowned yet. 1st and 10.
You never want to be in that situation anyways. You don't want to be sitting in that 7 and 8 seed sweating it out on Selection Sunday, you know?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. 1st and 10. And that looked like he lined up off sides, but no call. And look at this. Good breakout here. Nice run out of bounds. That's a heck of a run there by Lane. And he's going to pick up 11 more and another Cocoa Tiger first down. And now the Tigers got the running game going, something they haven't done this year. And I got to say, if Rockledge don't step up and stop this, be a quick night with that clock. 14-0. Cocoa on top. 2 offensive possessions, 2 scores. A rushing touchdown by Latrisson Lane.
I think they're going to come out passing here.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I just got that feeling, a couple of great runs, back-to-back-to-back.
Keep your eye on Hardison.
Yeah.
This is where they like to throw that post down the middle of Hardison. Nope. He rolls. He's actually looking for Boggs. Boggs is double covered, now open. Hart's going to keep it himself. And Brady Hart going to pick up 3 yards there. That's the best I've seen Hart use his feet this year to get outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's not necessarily that scrambler or that running quarterback, but he doesn't need to. He's got the arm, he's got the talents. He's so quick at delivering that football. He hasn't needed to scramble much this year. No,
you're absolutely right. So it's 2nd down and 7. Lane and to the near side over here. Who is that? That's Chris Kelly. And this is Lane up the middle. And Lane, what a run again, straight up the gut, the interior of that Cocoa Tiger offensive line doing a great job. Right now they're just getting in there and running behind 6'8", 335-pound Sandman Thompson.
And that's what we said earlier. These north runs has got to be the way. Going east and west is not going to work. And even when he made those cuts in the pocket, it was still going north while he was making those cuts.
So Lane to the left of Hart, double stacked equally to each side. And this is going to be that wide receiver screen, and Rockledge reads it well. The bubble screen on the quick out to Nicky Teeter.
That's a great read right there. Skimming across those blocks. And these Cocoa receivers know how to block, so that's a tremendous job by the defensive side of Rockledge.
Well, the Rockledge defense needs a big hold here. This is going to be 4th and about 3.5 and 4. We'll call it a long 3, short 4.
A stop here could really kickstart Rockledge.
Hart trying to draw him off, I guarantee it. Takes a look over. The towels come up on the sidelines to prevent the cameras from picking up the signals. They've given high school football everything else. Why not just put mics in the quarterback's helmet? And that's just how you do it. Boggs on a little out there, Nick.
Yeah, that's tough. Boggs is such a great receiver. You have to give him so much space because he'll just run by you if you don't. You know, so that opportunity for him to just cut that route short and just catch that ball 6 yards downfield is going to be there.
And that'll bring up 1st and 10 now for Coco, who is moving the ball at will. This drive, though, doing it on the back of running back Latrison Lane. And Hart now with a little swing pass out the lane. Big hole there. Lane finds it, cut, still on his feet. He's going to pick up maybe 9 more here. Call it 8, 2nd and 2. Quick read by Hart there. That's a good job by Brady to pick that out right away to recognize that open field for Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I almost thought they were going to get a hold on the outside receiver there. You know, there was a little pushing and shoving, pulling and pushing there, but they let him play.
So it's going to be 2nd, and actually they backed the ball up a little bit. It's going to be 2nd and 4 now for Hart. They are in Marcus Trout field goal range. Ball at the 24. They give us to Malachi Coney. Coney hit but lunged forward. He's going to pick up close to a 1st down. That's a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 1 now.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
I'm getting sound is gone. I can't hear y'all message here.
From who?
From my lovely wife.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
Okay.
I hope so. Anyway.
You guys, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you can hear us.
Yeah. We seem to be okay.
I thought so.
Yeah. A lot of times when you come on to Facebook, if you don't hit that X at the top, the sound will.
Oh, we got a you're good.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
We can hear. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, I can hear it on the iPad. We're good. All right, 2nd and 10. Or 1st and 10, I should say. I missed that play. Not sure how they picked it up, but they did. And it's 1st and 10. Ball just outside. Or actually, just outside the tails at the Barkery red zone. Hart's got all kinds of room over there. He's going to run out of bounds wisely because Jamarcus Jiskin was ready to clean his clock.
And that's a smart move. There's no need to be a hero right now. You know, they're trying to get this number 1 seed, and there's no point in trying to be the hero.
Mm-mm. So now it'll be 2nd and 5, and that's going to be a timeout for the water break. In fact, let's tell you about Tails at the Barkery right now, because if you have a pet, this is really where you need to be.
Love that.
Tails at the Barkery opened in 2016 in historic Cocoa Village. Now for more than 6 years, Tails has been a favorite destination for pets, pet parents, and they invite you and your 4-legged friend to visit. Tails at the Barkery has a variety of fresh treats made on-site. Soft treats and hypoallergenic treats are also available. And they take custom orders and have unique cat and dog wear. For more information, you can visit online at www.tailsatthebarkery.com. And you can also call at 321-305-4584. But what they really like is when you and your 4-legged friend visit. And again, they're easy to find in historic Cocoa Village at 14 Oleander Street. I'm not sure, Jared. I don't think anybody's broadcasting the Titusville game tonight. I'm actually shocked that Space Coast Daily didn't. So it is 2nd and 5 now. Ball well inside the Tails at the Barkery red zone on the 15-yard line, or about there, as Hart has play action the lane, looking all kinds of time, throws. And just throws it away there. The intended wide receiver on that was Zach Pillow, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5.
I like what Rockledge defense is doing here. They're not just laying down. You know, they're really giving them all. You know, Coco it's taken we're on our 9th play here on this drive.
Yeah.
So this is a good job by Rockledge defense.
Hart takes a peek. No audible here. He's going to stick with the play. And he gives Lane, tries to get outside, breaks one tackle, and will not break the others. And that's an outstanding job by number 29. Actually, they say it's Jalen Vallon that gets in there. So Vallon in, and it's going to be 4th down and 8, and Marcus Trout is on for a field goal attempt. And Trout, this is As long as he gets a good foot on it here, Trout certainly has the range here. The ball will be spotted at the 26. So this is a 36-yard field goal attempt for the Cocoa Tigers as they look to take a 17-0 lead with 5:14 to play in the first half. The snap is good. The kick is up, and it is a beaut, Clark.
That had another 10 yards on it.
Down Tiger Way, Tiger Trail. And with 5:01 to play, the Cocoa Tigers have taken a 17-0 lead. By the way, we are intentionally muted. All right, welcome back here as the Tigers have had 3 offensive possessions, and they've got 2 touchdowns and a field goal as the Raiders look to try to get on the board. Cocoa won this game last year 26-0, so the Raiders have not scored in 6 quarters in this game. And, in fact, I think if you go back to 2 years ago, I think that was a shutout too, 2 years ago.
Oh, that's a great call. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah, I think so. I know the Tigers have won 4 in a row. Prior to that, the Raiders won 3 in a row. Those great Rockledge teams with Ladarius Tennyson and Rocket Sanders and I mean
they're only some of the best players in college football.
Yeah,
and,
And I can't believe Antoine Green,
yes.
plays for the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
I mean, Jay-Sean Corbin, those Jalen Mitchell. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. Looking Padala in trouble, in big-time trouble. He just throws it. This is caught. This is going to be close to a pick six down inside. That's just a bad throw by Jordan Padala. You got to eat that ball. And
I felt like they were trying to set up a screen there. He was losing ground on purpose for some reason, and really the only reason you'd see that is for a screen, and it just didn't work out. But you're right.
You got to eat that.
You got to eat that, and that's tough. But you're going to get hit either way, right?
Yep.
So just take it and oh boy.
Yeah, no, this is not a good situation if you're Rockledge. Sometimes you just got to live to play another day, and for Jordan Padala, that is his 5th interception of the season, and Cocoa now in an opportunity to go up 24-0 here. They lead at 17-0.
Oh, 2 back here.
We got Lane and Coney in, so this is a different look for the Tigers.
Oh, boy.
I mean, you could drive a Mack truck through there. Sandman Thompson opened a hole for Malachi Coney that Moses would be proud of parting the Red Sea there.
Alan, I think you kind of could have scored right there,
Yeah, I could have limped in with the hip.
A 5-yard hole there on the goal line. What a great job by the offensive
Yeah.
Cocoa.
So it is 23-0. That's pot, Nick. That's pot. That's points off turnovers. Points off turnovers.
And we said it earlier in the game. Obviously, turnovers are such an important factor into a football game, and especially high school football. Once you get in the 2, 3, 4 turnover range, it's almost impossible to overcome that.
Yep, sure is. As Marcus Trout comes back on, as he'll try for the extra point. Snap. And he is putting it on the ball tonight, isn't he?
He is feeling a senior night, and he's showing out for the crowd.
No doubt about it. And there is yet another score by the Cocoa Tigers, and they now lead this thing 24-0. 0 here tonight. And I want to take this opportunity to let you know that the high school football season is indeed coming to an end. But the Zone 6 Reapers 7v7 athletic training and flag football is becoming a very, very big thing. On your screen right now, you see the information, Coach Lojo. I just absolutely love everything Coach Lojo stands for. And if you're looking for a 7v7 or a flag football team, that's your guy. That's your organization. So Zone 6, 7v7.
Flag football coming to the Olympics next.
I tell you what, man, I see a living in it, especially with how they're babyfying the NFL.
It is becoming more and more like flag, right? Babyfying. That was great. Great terminology there.
Thank you. Here we go. Trout. Can he get another touchback here? Great kick. And yes, indeed. Oh, they're going to run this out. He's going to. No, in the end zone.
Man, not only was that far, but that was high, too.
Yeah. And we also got this All-Star tournament coming up, too. My man, Coach Jody's doing. That's going to be November 10th. I have to check with Jody to see if they got a location for that yet. And coming up in the third quarter is going to be Cocoa Athletic Director Eusebio Solis is going to come up and talk to us right now. The Cocoa Tiger football program's a little short of funds right now. And they got the playoffs coming up, Nick, and we're going to talk about what this program needs because they're going to be doing, like we talked about Bradford, but they're going to be traveling for sure in the Final Four. And the FHSAA announced where the state championships are going to be played today, and we'll tell you where that is in a second, mainly because I got to re-look it up. Jordan Padala wants it, turns, gives, and nice job there. Ticeville up on Astronaut 21-0. Oh, they were getting ready to fight over here.
Yeah, they were
it was
little extra.
Jamarcus Giscombe and
come on now, guys. This is
Tank White.
This is not something you want to see.
No,
and I know this is such a rivalry, and I know that, they give it everything, both these teams, and both of these teams want this so bad.
They both have something to lose because you throw a punch, you're 6 games.
Sure.
And you go 6 games, and there's no playoffs for you. It's not like we haven't seen that before, right?
Correct.
So let's take a look at, so the 2024 through 2026 Florida High School Football Class 1A through 7A state championships to be held at South Dade Kia Field at Pit Bull Stadium. Now, I have no idea where that is, but I will tell you this. If it's in South Dade, I'm blessed because I don't have to drive to Tallahassee anymore. So thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Oh, it's
is it that soccer stadium?
I believe it's the FIU stadium.
It is. Okay, that's FIU stadium. Okay. So if Cocoa reaches that point, we'll be at Pit Bull Stadium at South Dade Kia Field. So there we go.
Okay.
That's better than driving to Tallahassee. I can promise you that. FIU. Thank you, Paul. Paul Howard. Appreciate your support. 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders following the water break. 4:24 to play in the half. Coming up at halftime, an interview with Isaac Bermudez. Padala quick.
There you go.
Nice little, gets a little slant there. And that is close to a Raider first down. And I thought the official was reaching for a flag there.
And that's a great call. Some quick game. Some quick hitches, maybe a couple slants.
Give them some confidence.
Give them some confidence. There's no need to go, 30 yards downfield all the time.
I will take 2.5 hours south over 5 hours north and west, especially on that ride home, man. Actually, they give him the first down. Padala again, they go right back to it, and that ball was nearly picked off again. That would not have been on Padala. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Offense.
Heritage up 7-0 against MCC.
Yeah. This was the game we said would decide our 6 and 7 spot, right?
Yep.
Well, I got news for you. It may decide our 5th, 6th, and 7th spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Merritt Island ties it up, 14-14.
There you go. Got a ball game over there. 2nd and 10. Padala wants it. He's got it. Looking, fires wide open. Coco's got to stop that. That's a good pitch and catch from Padala to Makia Kurkowski. Big tight end, man. That is a big tight end for them. Third and 4 for the Raiders. And they go right back to him. That time he dropped it. But he did put that ball right there to where I call that decking territory. You put that ball out there. My wide receivers would come back to the huddle or running back and go, Slaughterzinski, don't you ever throw that football there again.
Listen, if you're going to put it out front, at least put it low so you catch that ball goes right to the ground, you know?
Because Monday at practice, I'm going to do it to you. 4th and 4. And I wouldn't have blamed him. Don't you ever throw that ball. You get, as a quarterback, you get told that a lot if you're not very good. So, yeah, well, actually, I take that back. Coco won last year 26-20. Uh-oh, what do we got here? We got some kind of college football stuff going on here. I've never seen this before, and here they come back again, trying to draw Coco offsides. And now we got a flag. I mean, is that like illegal motion? I thought you could only have 2 people moving at once. This delay a game.
I was going to say, as long as they get set after they move, it doesn't matter. But that was where I was going to go with that was a delay of game. If you're going to do that, it's got to be real quick and right away. You know, you can't wait 10, 15 seconds and then get that shift started.
So they won last year 26-0, and the year before 28-20, 20-14.
I thought there was a close year in there.
And 45-34. That was a heck of a game, that 45-34 game. Rocket Sanders ran a touchdown back on that one. And nice shimmy and shake there by Tank White. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders or for the Tigers at their own 45. That game a couple of years ago, COVID year, I call it, 2020. It was dueling kickoff returns. You know, Rocket Sanders just was a man beast in that game. But the Tigers
and many others,
still prevailed in that one. Of course, you had, I believe it was Ladarius Tennyson scored the touchdown in overtime in 2017 when Wayne Younger, the former Rockledge or former Cocoa Tiger, Rockledge Raider head coach, beat his old alma mater. Did that 3 years in a row, did Coach Younger.
Yep.
Hart looks, wants it. Oh, my goodness. Hardison's wide open. Caught. Touchdown. Cocoa Tigers. 55 yards. Brady Hart to D.L. Hardison. And Cocoa leads it 30-0.
You can't place that ball any better. I mean, he was running full speed and even stumbled at the beginning of his route, and Hart was still able to put that ball really, really just beautiful spot.
My goodness gracious. I mean, that is the 2nd dime of the night that Brady Hart has dropped, Nick, and I mean, wow.
I would say that's his best throw of the night, and I know that one to Boggs for the touchdown was beautiful too, you know, but Boggs had a pretty large gap there between him and the defensive back, but that one right there was just beautiful.
I mean, I'm looking at the comments. Wow, my goodness, good ball and catch. I mean, you know. Whew. That's a pretty good Raider defense, too.
Absolutely.
And did he get that one?
I think so.
No, I was going to say he pushed that one right. But the Tigers, 5 points away from starting the second half with a running clock. Now, I picked Cocoa to win this football game tonight, but I did not have that on my scoreboard. We'll step away, and we'll be right back here on the Brevard Sports Network. Want to say hello to my guy, Swipe Marshall, watching here on the Brevard. Swipe had some moments.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what's your WrestleMania moment, right? What is your barbecue bowl moment? Swipe had them. He had them. And that will be a touchback. And the Raiders will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Yeah. What is your barbecue bowl moment? Mine was my barbecue bowl moment was broadcasted on the roof with God, he's gonna kill me.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, boy.
It's just because I'm getting older.
No.
I got to make some excuse because his name totally eludes me. Anyway, we had a blast up there broadcasting. Eddie Mays, Coach Eddie Mays.
Oh,
Me and
boy,
Coach Eddie Mays.
He is definitely going to
he's going to blast me.
Oh, yeah,
I deserve it, too.
For sure.
Eddie Mays, yeah. Me and Eddie Mays just killed that barbecue bowl that year. Jamarcus just come on to carry.
And I wonder where this quick game was at the beginning of the game. You know, they came out of the beginning of the game. They a couple run plays. They tried to chuck it downfield, 40 yards. And if you've got this in your bag, this is what you've got to do, just to at least get into a good motion, a good rhythm.
2:39 to play in the half. Sarah Ann asked a very good question. If Cocoa would benefit scheduling their games, harder games at the end of the season, I think a lot of times the standard is the district games come at the end of the year. Yeah.
Most weeks at the end of the year.
But she might be right in taking one of those games and saying, hey, let's play that Venice game, the week before or 2 weeks before we have to play a district game.
Right.
They're only in a 3-team district.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And they've been pretty much in control of their district for many years now.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, they wouldn't play anybody else in their district. They weren't forced to.
Correct.
2nd and 10 for Padala and the Raiders. Not much time to go here. 2:35. And throws, and I'm not sure where that ball was intended, but no flag. Yeah, we're going to get a pass. I think what we're going to get here is we're going to get a roughing the passer penalty on JB. No, it's a hold. I thought it was going to be a roughing the passer on Hilson, but no. Torch calls a hold, and I'd decline this if I was Coco.
Yeah, take the down. Your defense has been holding them. I think you don't need the yards.
And they do. Yeah, they do decline it. I like the call. Yeah, I absolutely like the call. So it's 3rd and 10, and Raiders need to pick up a first down if they don't want to start the second half with a running clock. Did you see the jump Hilson got?
Oh, boy.
My goodness gracious. Javion Hilson came out of the gates like Edwin Moses on that one. 4th and 15. Timeout for the Tigers with 2:16 to play. Heritage now up 14-0 on MCC. 30-0. Cocoa on top.
Let's see what else we got. We got Merritt Island and Vieira still tied 14-14. Looks like they're at the half.
If this keeps up, we might be able to check out the oh no, Robin, I apologize. Let me fix that right now. My apologies. Hold on, I'll do so after that. I forgot to change the quarter over. Second quarter. Punt coming up. 2:16 to go in the half. I get distracted. It's easy to do with me. 54, but attention span of a 3-year-old. All right, here we go. 4th and 16 now. And good punt considering the pressure there. And that ball will take a Coco bounce back up and out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. So
2 minutes and 8 seconds left. I wonder what they're going to do right here, Alan.
Yeah, well, I think it's safe to say that here comes a shot to, well, you know what? They're going to come out and run this fast. So
I know, right?
I'll fix the scoreboard at the half. It's 2:08 in the second quarter, but the score is accurate, 30-0. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 45, and there is absolutely no one in the backfield, which tells me, Nick, there can only be one play coming.
Boy, they love this bunch set.
Yes,
too.
they do. Hart drops back, looks, fires, caught. Hardison, oh, my bad. I mean,
there's that post you were speaking of earlier.
Yeah.
Happened a little bit later in the game than you thought, but
yeah,
they love that.
They love that post to Hardison, and I mean, that's just a great pitch and catch. And Brady Hart, I mean, let's be honest, against Heritage and even against Titusville, he was not throwing the ball this accurately.
Correct.
He is on a dime here tonight. 1st and 10, Hart looks, throws, fires.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Did he get that? That's a great
it.
interception. That is a phenomenal interception. That's my fault, Brady. Great interception. And I think that's going to be by number 15. I think that was the tight end back there that did that.
I'll tell you.
Kukowski, I believe that was.
That is the second overthrown ball he had. He had one earlier in the game. I believe it was to Boggs in the corner, or no, Pillow to the corner, and it was a little overthrown. But you don't see that too often. Brady does not throw it that very often. Great job to the Rockledge.
Yeah, no, it
defense.
definitely
a beautiful
was.
catch too.
Yeah, no,
I mean, that was not an easy catch.
No, that's as athletic of a play as you could possibly make there. And now Padala and company has got to do something with this football, Nick, because they cannot go 3 and out.
No, they cannot. But at the same time, the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over in the red zone or close to the red zone.
Yeah, but I think down 30-0, I think you just got to throw caution to the wind here. You got to do something. And goodness gracious, that's Jamarcus Giscombe, and that's C.J. Hester that just absolutely laid the wood on Jamarcus Giscombe.
And I'll give Giscombe the credit there, holding on to that ball with that hit. I said it earlier too. Boy, what a hit, but great job holding on that ball.
Brian Walker says, we about to come back now? That would be, you want to talk about a historic barbecue bowl.
Yeah. They'd be talking about this game for the next 50 years.
Yeah. 2nd and 7, maybe 8, nearly offsides, but he gets back. Padala looks, steps up. He's going to get out of the pocket, and he's going to have, or did he make it?
I think.
Yeah, he's going to be, they're going to give him a first down.
And they're going to stop the clock out of bounds.
Yep, under 49 seconds. The first down will stop the clock temporarily to move the chains, but it'll stop altogether because Padala and the ball were out of bounds. Coming up at halftime, absolutely nothing. Second or first, he did. First down, 1st and 10. Under a minute to play, 49 seconds. So as long as we don't get a defensive touchdown, there will not be a running clock to start the second half. Padala looks, gets out of the pocket, and he's just going to keep it. And be careful.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. He gets roped down there.
That's a great run, but you got to get out of bounds. You'll take 4 less yards there to stop the clock.
That's Chavis Thompson. That's Sandman or Redman Thompson on the tackle there. Redman and Sandman. Another first down, 40 seconds. And we're going to get a timeout by the Rockledge Raiders here as the Raiders want to try and put some pressure on Coco's defense here. So we will see how that works out. You're watching the 46th Barbecue Bowl here on Brevard Sports Network. want to thank Tails at the Barkery for sponsoring our second quarter, and I'm happy to report that Tails at the Barkery has stepped up, and they have paid for the first Cocoa Tiger playoff game.
Wow.
And I will tell you something. It is not cheap for an FHSAA high school football broadcast. It is double anything else that's done.
I don't understand. I get it if you're in the Final Four, and you're traveling and stuff like that, but these early round playoff games, come on. We want to get these players on film and out to everybody as much as possible. And charging that much, really does not help that case.
Or mine.
True.
Throws Giscombe, and Giscombe's got space, and Giscombe cuts back, and he'll be absolutely clobbered as soon as he crossed the first down marker there. But that's 3 straight first downs for the Rockledge Raiders. Now, if you're a Cocoa defender, you would say, well, it's the end of the half, and Cocoa's playing soft. But I think you got to pipe up here. And if you're Rockledge, keep pushing this ball down the field. 1st and 10, first time tonight. The ball has been into Cocoa territory, and this has happened. And down goes Jordan Padala as Javian Helson with his second sack of the night. Also in there on the sack is number 17, Anthony Williams. And now, if I'm Rockledge, I just let the clock run out. They do. We have reached the half with your score. The Cocoa Tigers, 30. The Rockledge Raiders, nothing. Back with the start of the second half in 17 minutes. All right, welcome back here. 30-0 here in the Barbecue Bowl, and certainly not what we were hoping for anyway. Although I will say that not a surprising outcome with Cocoa as hot as they have been recently. But I want to take a minute, if you're with me here, as the third quarter will be starting here shortly. And again, I don't know if Rockledge has anything like this, but if they do, we would gladly promote it for them or any other school. But Cocoa does have this program, so being here at Cocoa, I have told Athletic Director Eusebio Solis that we would indeed promote this. And that QR code, let me turn the, you're going to get sick there, or not sick, but, like motion sickness with the camera moving. But that QR code on your screen right now, unfortunately, the Cocoa Tiger football program is underfunded, as a lot of the athletic programs are at the moment at Cocoa High School. And that QR code right there is the brainchild of new athletic director Eusebio Solis. And this QR code, the money raised, is a way to help a nationally ranked and certainly a top state-ranked football program like Cocoa raise money to help with a lot of the expenses that they're going to have coming up. It's like, they've taken buses to Venice and IMG this year, and those buses aren't cheap. And if they reach the state championship game, now we know they're going to be going 2.5 hours south down to South Dade. So if you can, and times are tight and tough, and we know this, but if you can, anything will help this program at the moment. Now, this link, this QR code, is a direct and goes internally to a school account that is linked through Brevard Public Schools. Let me say that again. The QR code will direct you to an internal school account that is linked through Brevard Public Schools. Anything helps, and the Cocoa Tigers greatly appreciate your support. I know there are a lot of alumni on here tonight watching this. If you can help your alma mater, they would certainly appreciate it, and that QR code is the way to do that. And Nick, you've been a part of football programs, and the expenses that are tied to it and what's necessary, especially when you're talking about a program that's the tops in the county, like this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only, expenses in travel, but expenses in food, and of course, if you do make it to the States, you want to make sure your players look good, look the part of being there. There's a lot of things that factor into making sure these young athletes are doing and getting what they deserve.
No doubt about it. And Eusebio Solis will join us here coming up in the third quarter to discuss this. Again, it's important. And also on your screen right now, as the high school football season rapidly comes to an end, the regular season, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, 10 of our teams, it looks like, are going to make the playoffs, but that's going to leave 7 of them out. And for those 7 programs, it's on to the off-season. And the off-season for many of these student athletes includes 7v7 and now flag football. And there is no better program here locally than the Zone 6 Reapers and Coach Lojo and what he does. And Coach Lojo and his staff have built a tremendous program here. They're a 501c3 nonprofit program, and they really go into helping student athletes in so many ways. And, of course, Coach Lojo's information is on the screen as well. You can contact him directly. And you know Coach Lojo.
Yeah, absolutely.
A fantastic guy.
Fantastic guy, fantastic family, and just does it all for all the right reasons.
He said to me, Coach Lojo said to me a couple of weeks ago, and I can't do it, and I wish I could do it. He said, how'd you like to go see the Steelers play? I said, what are you talking about? And they said, how would you like to see the Redskins and the Steelers play? And
Commanders.
Commanders, right. Commanders. Yeah, I keep saying Redskins. Commanders. How'd you like to go see the Redskins and the Commanders play? Now, unfortunately, I can't do it just because we got reschedules and youth football going on that weekend. But I said, sure. If I can, I certainly will. And he's like, contact so-and-so, and he'll set you up with the details. And, he's got season tickets to the Washington Commanders, and he was going to take me to a football game.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
He does a tremendous job. I mean, it's a business suite, but he gets some people up there that deserve to be there. And
Yeah.
Alan, for everything you do for this county and on a regular basis, you definitely deserve to be
Well,
up
I
there.
appreciate that, Nick, coming from you. I certainly I like that. And we got a playoff score update because the Bayside Bears and the Space Coast Vipers, who in the Sunshine State Athletic Association, week one of their playoffs began today. And unfortunately for Bayside at the moment, they are down to Frostproof 28-0. But listen, they went into this game at 5-5.
Yeah.
And what Billy Miller has done in joining the SSAA this year to bring that Bayside program back to the winning side of the equation was nothing short of phenomenal. And congratulations to Billy Miller and the Bayside Bears. They were 0-10 last year, Nick, and I don't care where you're playing. To double your win total from a year before in any capacity is impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only did they lose 10, but they also lost a lot of players in the offseason. So
Yeah.
kudos to Coach Miller and, great job down there.
No doubt. And, of course, Space Coast was scheduled to have their first playoff game tonight. And there's another program that's won, I think, 7 games over the last 6 years.
And set some records on the way, by the way.
Yeah, they sure did. And their opponent forfeited tonight, couldn't play tonight. So Space Coast picks up the win, and they will advance and play home next week in round 2 of the SSAA playoffs. As we get set here to start the third quarter, let's get the scoreboard turned back on, and let's get back to we were talking earlier about those, and I want to thank Coastal Strength and Barbell. They're going to be one of our sponsors here in the third quarter, and it's 30-0, Nick, and maybe an onside kick here to start, huh?
Yeah, maybe. Hey, let's get some fire lit somehow, right? I think this half really just has to do with their next week in the playoffs, and I know it's 2 weeks away, but this half they've just got to build some momentum, and they've got to go into the off week because I do believe they're off this week before the playoffs start.
Yeah,
with some kind of momentum.
I thought. Now, I would never tell another coach how to run a program, but I thought this, as the kick is received, it's Chris Kelly, and Kelly is brought down.
Beautiful tackle.
Yeah, there he goes. I thought maybe this was a program that would have tried to find a game for that 10th game. They certainly have the option available to do that, and I thought maybe I don't know that if I was Rockledge, I'd want to sit for 2 weeks before traveling to play in the playoffs.
I don't know. Just not having 10 games in a season, I don't know. It reminds me of COVID, and I don't want anything to remind me of that year, So yeah. I think me personally, I would try to do everything I can to schedule that 10th game.
No doubt. Screenshot it. People want to know how to screenshot the QR code, and then that's how you can maybe text it to yourself and do it that way.
Beautiful tackle.
Yeah, that is a good question. How would you do that? I'm putting the QR code on the screen. How would you?
If you go to your camera on your phone, it will automatically pick up that QR code.
Will it?
As an Apple guy, as an Android guy, I think you have to.
You know what? Touche, Donahue. Touche. I deserve that one. I was giving him a hard time before the game about his. What is that? It's not an Apple Pad.
It's an Android pad.
An Android iPad, and I was giving him grief about it before the game. And, well, Nick just had the perfect opportunity to pay me back, and, well, he certainly did.
I enjoy my green bubbles in our group chat.
Yeah. And that's easy. Boggs stays in bounds, and he is
gang tackles.
Yeah, and picks up a first down as Coco looks to score on this opening possession. And should they do that, the clock will run. It is 30-0, and it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 29 here. Brady Hart. And I would imagine once the clock starts running, we're going to see some of the backups come in. I'm interested to see Silverzon jump in the game because I'm sure we'll see him. There's an out pass to Nicky Teeter. And Nicky Teeter, I just saw a white helmet go flying 5 yards back. And a little sideline chit-chat going on.
As you would expect.
Of course.
Schools, for sure. Rivalry it is, even though the score is what it is.
Absolutely. Who was your rivals in high school? You're not from here.
I'm a Bristol, Connecticut guy, home of ESPN.
Yeah.
And we had Bristol Central, where I went to, and then Bristol Eastern.
Which one of those schools did Aaron Hernandez go to?
Central. He went
yeah,
to
that's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we played every year on Thanksgiving.
Yep. 2nd and 5. Oh, Lane just tears one up the middle. Nice job by Latricia Lane. That's going to be another Cocoa Tiger first down. Lane with a good night tonight on the ground. We had a school called Lansdowne that was our rival, and, we took the old rocks and bottle bus ride through that town. Good old days. 1st and 10. We used to play them the first game of the year.
See, I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't like that at all. Where's the build-up? Where's the anticipation? Ooh, good hit.
Yeah, it was. But it's a gain of 7 yards, and the Tigers are moving the football pretty much at will here to start the second half, up 30-0.
And I like what they got going on. They're spreading the ball around. They're making sure everybody touches it. That's important for the confidence going into the playoffs. 4
games on the network tonight. And if this one, it does not intrigue you, then you can flip over and check out MCC and Heritage. You can check out Vieira and Merritt Island. And what was the other game we had? Oh, O'Galley and Melbourne. Look at this. That ball is underthrown. Oh my goodness gracious. Did you see that, Nick Donahue?
In between 2 defenders. I mean, I never had a doubt. It never looked like he wasn't going to catch that ball, but
I thought it was underthrown, and that is the best thrown football of the night, no doubt. All right, let's bring in the Cocoa Athletic Director, Eusebio Solis here. And, Eusebio, did you see that dime right there that Brady Hart just threw?
Oh, I sure did.
That's a pretty ball. All right, Eusebio, first of all, congratulations on becoming the Cocoa Tiger Athletic Director, and thanks for coming in the booth here. So is everything still like, you were an athletic director before, so this isn't new to you. How are things going here at Cocoa High School right now?
Well, things are going well,
Yep, just up a little bit, yep.
Things are going well. It was a learning curve going into a brand new building, a brand new culture, and just trying to figure out where.
Now we were talking right before you came into the booth. In fact, I had the QR code up on the screen for a couple of minutes, and right now you guys are getting ready to go into the playoffs, and I know that the whole athletic department right now, we could definitely raise some funds, and especially for the football team. As Hart drops back here, steps up in the pocket, looks, he's going to keep it. He gets down and slides. He's going to pick up the yardage lost, and it's going to be 4th and 10 coming up. So we'll see if they go for it or decide to kick the field goal. But obviously, raising money is a big thing. I mean, this football program is constantly top 25, top 30, 50 in the nation, always in the top 25 in the state. You get ready to come up on the playoffs. It's expensive. This program is, because of its success, requires money. You see the beautiful fields, the sideline protectors, all of it. So talk a little bit about that and how hard it can be to raise money and what this program requires.
Well, a lot of the folks, you see on the camera, all you see is the gear and the footballs, but you don't see all the other things, like the paint that it takes to paint the field.
Right.
The transportation that it takes to get them to point A to point B. Just transportation alone is a big chunk in our budget. This year alone, I would say, rough estimate, was close to $12,000 just in the regular season, just in transportation cost, and it can eat up a gate.
Yeah, quickly, yes, and the crowds aren't like this every Friday night. In fact, since COVID, we have really seen attendance figures drop across high school football and high school sporting events. I don't know what it was, or obviously the virus itself, but we've seen attendance figures decline, and it's unfortunate because you guys really do rely on this gate.
Yes, for sure. The gate is how athletics survives at any school. Everybody thinks the district gives every school X amount of dollars, and that's not true.
No.
They have their own budget that they have to handle, and they give us they help us out with what they can. But the athletics piece of it, it's mainly, what we get at the gate and the people that come and support us, and everything else has to be fundraised for, or we have to seek out sponsors, or we got to get donations from folks throughout the community, and it's a large task, and we do need the help of everyone to make sure that we put a quality product out there, and to make sure that these kids don't suffer for lack of funds.
Yeah, and we've seen it, and I could sit here and tell you numerous stories about it as the Tigers have 1st and 10 now inside the Coastal Strength and Barbell red zone. The QR code is a genius idea. Eusebio, talk about where you came up with this thing, and because I love it. I think it's great.
Well, I was watching some college football one Saturday, and I saw
Texas A&M, right?
It was one of
those, yeah.
They had a QR code on the helmet, and it was like, if you want to sponsor this kid, send the QR code. I was like, well, how can we make that work for us?
Right.
So I'm like, well, let's see if we can get, Alan or anybody that streams the games to put a QR code there, and anybody that was watching feels so generous to help us out, they could scan the QR code and send some funds, and that goes, to Cocoa High School.
Right.
If you look on that QR code, is a drop-down window.
Yep.
That says select the program that you want to go to, and football's on there.
Yep.
So you select football, and then you select the cash donation or the donation that you're willing to give, and it goes into the internal account. So anything and everything is appreciated. So
yeah. And every little bit helps. $5, $50, $500. And, again, I know there are a lot of alumni on here tonight. We'll keep posting this throughout the course of the rest of the game. What's the one thing you didn't know about this program that now blows your mind now that you are a part of it? And I'm talking about this football program. What didn't you know about it that now you do and you think everybody else should know?
Well, we have an amazing community. Like, for example, they come out here every Friday.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a game, or if there isn't a game, they call. Let's go, where's the game at? How can we get there?
Mm-hmm.
They want to support us. They want to be there. They love Tiger Nation.
Yep.
So this area and the history and just the tradition that Cocoa has is one that I heard about it, but I didn't know about it until I was actually here. So
yep.
It's amazing to see the support and the amazing, wonderful people here in Cocoa, and I'm grateful to be here. And they've been so helpful in getting me up to speed with how things are.
Well, we're looking forward to watching that baseball team this year, too. And if you didn't know, this guy right here behind me is a heck of a baseball coach. Was an outstanding baseball player. Xavier Solis, thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with us here. And thank you for your support of Brevard Sports Network and allowing us to stream football and other sports. And we can't thank you enough, and we value and treasure our relationship with all Brevard County Public Schools and Cocoa as well. And this is a Cocoa Tiger touchdown. Run the clock. Latrician Lane. Is that Lane? Yes. Nope. Nope, that's Hardison, isn't it? Nope, that two? Yeah, D.L. Hardison with his second touchdown of the night, and the Tigers lead it 36-0, and the clock will not stop now. Eusebio, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, and he's a senior, by the way.
It's senior night. That's it. I'm gonna chart through these things in the fourth quarter here coming up. Yes. And again, as soon as this score happens, I'm gonna pop that QR code back up. Please, if you can, help. And again, if you have an Apple phone, your camera will take a picture of that and snap you right to the website. And remember that this QR code will direct you to an internal school account that's linked through Brevard Public Schools. Here comes the snap. Kick is up, and it is good. And with 5:55 to play, it's 37-0. We'll be right back here on Brevard Sports Network. All right, welcome back. I'll get the scoreboard back up in a minute as the Tigers get ready to kick off here. 37-0 already. I'm not sure why the clock is stopped. 5:43 to go. Running clock.
And he said he will try to get that QR code up on the athletic website. So
yeah.
Keep your eyes for that, guys.
Yep, no doubt. So there you go, and we thank you, Sabio Solis, for coming in and telling us about the importance of this money, because it is important. Why is the clock not running?
That's a great question. Oh, there we go.
All right.
Somebody had to nudge him.
Yeah, no, yeah. Sometimes you just forget those things. I know Hadley doesn't, though. Hadley does a great job, Coach Hadley. All right, here we go. Marcus Trout set to kick off here in the Raiders. Let's take a look here in just a second at some of the larger margin of victories in this series, because there have been a few. That's going back through the end zone this time. And Rockledge will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. So prior to this one tonight, Nick, the biggest margin of victory was 26 last year. Prior to that, 47-0 in 2014, 45-0 in 2015. Those are the two large, 55-0 in 2010. So I don't know that Cocoa will get to 55-0, but 55 right now is the largest margin of victory since 2004 in this series.
Yeah, that'd be tough to get up to there with this running clock going.
Yeah. So 55-0. And we had a 55-14 game, and there's a run there. In that particular matchup, in that 55-0 game, Chevelle Bowie.
Oh, Chevelle Bowie.
8 carries, 143 yards. Tyrion Folston, 13 carries, 105 yards. Devontae Jones, 14 carries, 94 yards. Coco rushed for 342 yards in that football game. The quarterback was Campbell. He passed for 41 yards.
And we were talking about studs earlier. Those guys you just spoke of are just legendary in these areas.
You know, I know James Folston is going back and looking, but it could be Tyrion Folston is the all-time leading rusher in the history of Brevard County. We're doing the research on that.
Wow.
And how about on the defensive side of the equation in that one? Grady Redding with 10 tackles in that game. Trey Cador, 7 tackles. Mike Ferguson, 7 tackles. Antonio Wallace, 7 tackles. And the give is to Jalen Bradley. And Rick Rivers, couple of tackles in that one. Rick also had, in that game, 2 kick returns in that one. And I believe he had, let's see here, all-purpose yards. It doesn't say. So, Mike Ferguson with a sack in that one. So, fifth Cody Bell with a couple of field goals. So, 55-0, the largest margin of victory since 2004. 3rd down here and 1. And this is Bradley straight up the gut. I love the no quit.
Absolutely. And he's been running hard all year.
Yeah.
Kudos to him.
Yep. Let's get the scoreboard turned back on for you guys. 37-0 here. So Rockledge with a 1st down. They've not had many of them tonight. They had 3 right before the half, Nick, and looks like they're continuing to do what got them those 3 first downs, and that's run the football straight up the gut, because that's exactly what Padala did. First and 10, Padala looks to throw, scrambles right, and he's going to be gobbled alive.
They just haven't had any success being able to throw the ball deep downfield. They just don't have the time. It's. I think you just got to stick with what's been working, and they've had a couple of drives here that has moved the ball. No points to show for it, but little quick game.
I think
middle of the field runs. Let's keep with that.
I think that's Quincy Kendrick on the sack there, 56. It's either 56 or 52. It's Xadrian Smith. That's 52. Xadrian Smith on the sack. 1975, 57-28. Game was stopped with 2 minutes to play. I love reading history.
Oh, me too.
No gain up the middle. Lorenzo Pratt holds the record for rushing yards, if I'm not mistaken. Class of 2014 in the building. Hello, Raymond Flores. 36-0. 37-20-0. Merritt Island Christian over Canterbury. So Merritt Island Christian is going to win a playoff football game. Cocoa 57-28. Yeah, I just read that one. Just say we got the Stomp crew in the house. Our camera started to jump.
They got the whole side of stadium moving.
What's the score in that one?
We got
Heritage 14.
14, MCC 7.
Okay.
Tight game.
We knew it would be. 17-14 Merritt Island up.
Another tight game.
Yeah. There's Caleb making everybody motion sickness.
O'Galley in control.
37-0 too. Same identical score there. So Melbourne, we were talking about playoff teams, and you want to talk about one of the, as it's fourth down in forever, and the Raiders are going to punt. But that game last week between Melbourne and Vieira, we really thought we would have a decisive team emerge as a playoff participant from that one. In fact, it came out more confusing. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter with a running clock. Cocoa in command, 37-0. All right, here we go. As we hit to the fourth quarter, 37-0. Cocoa on top of Rockledge. And, okay. Final 12 minutes, and they're going to run fast as the Raiders get ready to punt here. And I would imagine we're going to see reserves here. Now, it's going to be interesting to me because does Cocoa take Brady Hart out if he truly wants a shot at that state record?
That's a great question. I mean, he probably has, 200-plus yards passing tonight.
Yeah.
So
353 is what he needs to average. But is a state record worth losing a quarterback? Because Rockledge is still thumping out there.
Yeah, I mean, they have not given up. And
No.
we've seen that with their hits and even their runs. They have definitely not given up. So it'll be interesting to see what Cocoa marches out there with.
So we will see. Or will it be Troy Silverzon, who is a transfer from Rockledge to Cocoa? And it's going to be Brady Hart.
All right.
So here we go.
These are always tough questions because Cocoa's going to be off next week, right? So there's a bye week in there. So you almost want to get your starters as much playing time as possible because they're going to get an extra week worth of rest before the playoffs start.
Not a problem, Mr. Flores. It is our pleasure. We absolutely love this. And I think, Nick, I'm going to pat us on the back here for a minute. Everybody's going, oh, God, here he goes again. But you guys like you, not me, guys like you, listen, these guys don't get paid. And this is all done out of love and passion. And I mean that. I truly, truly mean that. Now I might kick the kid a couple bucks here and there,
Sure.
But you know what? I mean, you have to have a love and passion. And I thank you guys for that because this doesn't happen without the passion that you guys have. I mean, you're going to go back to coaching next year. No doubt in my mind you are. And I can't thank you enough for sitting in the booth with me this year.
Oh, I've had a blast. And I've learned a lot, too, sitting up from this angle and seeing the views from this angle. It's been a big difference.
Look at this pass. He said that was a category. Hadley, Coach Hadley. That was a category 1 throw. You got to appreciate him.
You know what I appreciate? I appreciate all these coaches that are standing on the sideline now. You know, you want to talk about doing things for passion.
Yeah.
You know, they don't. I mean, I would say half of them don't get paid, and then the other half get
nothing. Next to nothing, yeah.
You know, when you consider, you know, how much time and effort you're spending into these type of things. So kudos to those guys on both sides of the sideline. And, you know, they mean so much to these young athletes. And, you know, it takes a lot of efforts and a lot of patience to go through a season. So kudos to them.
All right, so we're trying to figure out what we're going to talk about for the rest of the way as the clock continues to run here. So why don't we do this? Why don't we just glance at? I'm going to glance at, and let's talk about what both of these teams. Now, Rockledge obviously needs to turn in a far better performance than this if they are going to do anything in the playoffs. But let's pull up here the FHSAA and look at potential playoff opponents in round 1 here, yeah, that's a loss. So let's take a look. Cocoa could end up playing Astronaut in the first round, and I don't think that's good for anybody.
No, and, you know, it's great for Astronaut to even have a playoff berth there, you know, but to have to meet up with Cocoa in the first round, that's tough.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to 2A. We'll start with 2A first. As Cocoa looks at third down and about 20 now. But the way Brady Hart's been throwing the ball, this has not been anything, and he's going to let it go again. My goodness, look at this. Oh, that's a pass interference. It's going to be 3rd and 1 because this is going to be a 15-yard penalty on pass interference. So not quite enough to give him a first down, but 3rd and 1. And, again, there's no such thing as a non-catchable ball in high school football.
That's a tough call, though. The defensive back was looking at the ball the entire time. You know, the contact that was made I thought was incidental, believe it or not. So, I don't know. That's tough to me.
We'll see if they pick it up or they walk it off. All right, Gadsden County's the number 1 team in 2A. Cardinal Moonies 2, Pensacola Catholic 3, Bradford 4, Bowles 5, and Cocoa 6. They are going to walk it off, and it's going to be 3rd. It shouldn't be a first down. It should be 3rd.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it should be 3rd and 1 or 2, and it is. That's not an automatic first down. So Cocoa is in Region 2, and right now in Region 2, they are currently seated 2nd behind Bradford, 1.5 points behind Bradford. They could make that up tonight. They could be the number 1 seed. If they were the number 1 seed, they play Tampa Catholic in the first round, and that's a run straight up the gut for a first down, and there's a flag that comes flying from the sidelines, and that's going to be unsportsmanlike or a sideline warning. So, you know, and then Astronaut plays the Villages Thursday night, November 7th. So the winner of that game is in the playoffs.
Oh, that does sound like that. Yeah, absolutely.
The loser is likely going home. So,
and I believe state ranked, they're only about 3 spots away from each other, so that should shape up to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt, and that's a big game for Astronaut because if they, after what that program's been through the last couple of years, as we get to the water break with 6:17 to go in the game. All right, so that is 2A. All right, so Cocoa, if they don't pass Bradford, would have to play the regional final at Bradford. But I wholeheartedly feel that this win tonight over a 4A team is going to give Cocoa, because Rockledge has got teams on their schedule like Mandarin, and Cocoa also picks up points from Rockledge's strength of schedule as well. So
absolutely, and Bradford's going to essentially lose some strength by playing who they're playing this week. So
well, they're not playing.
Oh,
that game got forfeited tonight.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, so Bradford will pick up a win and be 9-1, but it's a win worth no points.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, because it's a forfeit. So, we'll see what happens with Cocoa, but, likely, in my opinion, and I know these things pretty good, the Tigers should be here through the regional finals. The Final Four, they reseed the teams. Cocoa is not playing home in the Final Four.
Boy, wouldn't it be nice to know the actual calculations of how it all works? I mean,
I know what they tell you.
Right?
Yeah.
We know the strength of schedule, and then, And then strength of your opponents.
Right, and then they use max preps.
And then they use max preps, right. But what is the calculation in there?
33. It's 33. Here, I actually know this, but you still can't figure it out, even knowing this. It's 33% strength of schedule, 33% strength of schedule, 20-something% max preps, and the difference win-loss record. So that's how it breaks down.
But I suppose unless you go and look up all the opponents and figure out all that strength schedule, man, that would be taking some serious time to figure that out on a week-to-week basis if you're not the computer system that they've got set up for it probably.
But you know who does do that? Preferred Sports Network. We do that every week, right? We do that every week. If you look at our rankings every week, now while you all hate them, if you read them, you'll see all that information in there. So they are, if you don't like the rankings, they are at least useful for information.
True, very true.
It's been a fun year with those rankings. We have been trolled and done some trolling.
Oh, boy. I was actually surprised the last Super 7 we put out really came with no...
That's because I snuck it in at midnight. And this is a penalty against Cocoa. The clock has not started from the official timeout. So for Rockledge, Jones is the number 1 school in the region for 4A Region 2. Vanguard is 2, Lake Wales 3, Zephyr Hills 4, Rockledge 5. Rockledge is a district champ at 5 and would be paired with Zephyr Hills. Now, here's the interesting equation for Zephyr Hills, right? They too are a district champ, but they have one more district game remaining. So if Zephyr Hills loses that district championship game, they would have to travel to Rockledge because every district champ is guaranteed a playoff berth, and they will host a first-round playoff game unless they are paired with a higher-seeded district champ.
Right.
And I don't imagine that Zephyr Hills is going to lose to Freedom in that final district game.
No, definitely
on 7th.
not.
Freedom is not very good. So Rockledge is likely going to have to travel as a district champ as a 5 seed. This is not going to help their cause tonight. As much as Cocoa is going to pick up points for beating a 4A school, and that's how the point system looks at it, Rockledge is going to be equally penalized for losing to a 2A school.
Absolutely. And at least Cocoa has the strength of schedule, that'll help Rockledge, even though they're losing to a 2A school.
Right.
But just playing such a high-ranked state team for Cocoa, that it will help Rockledge tremendously.
And I apologize to all of you out there if it seems like we're straying from the coverage of the game. It's 37-0, and these are things. We're going to talk about these things tonight on the postgame show as well. 4:40 to play in the game, clock running, and Brady Hart still out there.
I'm actually a little surprised by that.
I'm very surprised by that. And this is a fake jet sweep, cuts inside, and this is going to bring up 4th down and 2.
Especially since they're running the ball more than they're passing the ball here.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I think if I'm on the sideline, I yank him out and let Troy Silberzon get a little bit of play time in the field.
Now, if there's anybody on here wondering if we're broadcasting any youth football this week, and the answer to that question is no. We tried. It just didn't happen. 4th down and 3 now. 3:55 to go in the game. Clock is running. Looks like I'll be the first one back to the studio for the postgame show tonight.
It does look like it.
And we're going to actually get a timeout on the field. So we want to thank Coastal Strength and Barbell as one of our sponsors here tonight. And, of course, let's take it back to Gamerz Are Us and Tails at the Barkery. And, again, if you've got a gamer in your life, guess what? Today is November 1st. You know what that means? Yep. What is that, Nick? We got 30 and 44 more shopping days until Christmas.
I'll tell you, if my wife is listening right now, she's probably trying to reach through the screen and
Choke me?
Strangle you right now.
Yeah, well, that's a fact, probably on both accounts.
Looks like MIC did win 20-6. So
okay, good for them.
Moving on to the second round of the playoffs for them.
Parker says 34-0 Titusville. Parker, great dude, man. I actually had a chance to meet Parker in person. Parker's been reporting scores on Brevard Sports Network for years now during games, and I actually had a chance to meet Parker. He actually works at a place that I frequent, and I ran into him and got to meet him, and I was pretty tickled with it, yeah. 3:44, 4th and 2. And Tigers are going to punt here, and that's a heck of a punt. That's a beaut, Clark. I mean, an absolute beaut. Look at his punt. First of all, it was a perfect spiral. That's a 51-yard punt.
Beautiful stopping point when it hit the ground, too. Great job.
Now, I don't know what's on tap for Thursday night for high school football. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's so up in the air, you know. I know a lot of teams try to schedule and couldn't, and maybe that's what happened to Rockledge. Maybe they put the effort in to try to get the game scheduled and it just couldn't, you know. It's tough.
Yeah, a lot of people asking, will Cocoa play a Popka? No, those two teams don't need that game. Cocoa, I don't think, should go over there and play. I don't think there's no reason Cocoa needs to go over there and play that game.
I guess the question is, does a Popka need that game?
Right. Now, if Cocoa needs the points, that could be a different story. But you know, listen, Ryan Schneider wasn't content to play on the road in the regional finals. He wanted to be home. Bradford is not an easy place to play. The tornado warnings, the fans. Cocoa went up there 2 years ago, took control of that game early. And then Bradford came back on them to start the second half, and it was a football game. And luckily, Cocoa closed the deal late and then beat Bradford in the state championship again last year. But you don't want to press your luck if you don't have to go there, and that's going to be a false start on Rockledge. It'll back them up 5 yards.
No, having home field advantage, and we said this earlier, is so important. You know, it makes such a big deal to be at home versus have to take that bus ride. You know, changing in somebody else's away locker room.
Oh, they're going to call that on the defense.
It just has a whole different feel, yeah. Yeah, they did.
So what you know, we saw Rockledge tonight. They struggled. Obviously, you know, there's not a lot of good to point out in terms of the play tonight. But what did impress you with the Raiders tonight?
Well, you know, I think just the fact that they are still giving everything that they've got right now. Minute and a half left in the game, running clock, and I don't see anybody loafing out there. I don't see one receiver taking a play off. I don't see any defensive backs just letting people run by them. They have put every bit of effort into this game, no matter the score, no matter the time.
I've been impressed with Jordan Woods tonight. Jordan Woods, to me, is a baller. Jalen Bradley, a baller. Those two tonight have, and I've been impressed with the play of number 15 for the Raiders as well, Micah Kurkowski. And that play was intended for him. And that's a big young man. That's a tight end. What year is he? He's a senior, so. Now, we didn't get a chance to do a lot of Rockledge football this year because, obviously, Space Coast Daly and Stephen Orville do a really, really good job over there. So we you know, they do their home games. But we've caught them a couple of times on the road this year.
And they have some special athletes. And like you said, Jordan Woods, Jamarcus Giscombe. You know, they have some amazing athletes. And they could make some noise in the playoffs.
What do you think of the play of Padala tonight, aside from the interception that he threw, which was obviously not a good throw?
Yeah, I would say, you know, when they were able to get the ball out of his hand quick, you know, a lot of that quick game, we saw some good passes. You know, unfortunately, you know, when they had to go downfield, he just didn't have the opportunity at the time. Well,
believe it or not, that's it. Flag flies, but it doesn't matter. Final score is Cocoa wins the 46th Barbecue Bowl 37-0. It's now 5 in a row for the Tigers. They now lead the all-time series 28-18, and right there with the Barbecue Bowl trophy is Javen Boggs. You'll see him carry it through the handshake line. And why not, right? Why not? It is the Barbecue Bowl
Absolutely.
trophy. What impressed you the most about Coco tonight, for me, real quick, it's got to be the precision with Brady Hart and Javen Boggs.
And not just with Javen Boggs, but just Brady Hart's position in general. Now, we did see him throw a pick, and we saw about 2 balls overthrown, but other than that, man, we saw some balls just drop perfectly into the hands of the receivers, and just a great job. I
was impressed, too. The Tigers were able to get the rushing attack underway. All right, so stay tuned. Post-game show coming up. We still got plenty of football going on Brevard Sports Network, and plenty of close games as well. But this one was over from the start tonight as the Cocoa Tigers scored on their first 3 offensive possessions, led 30-0 at the half, and then 37-0 to run the clock in the second half. Your final, Cocoa 37, Rockledge nothing. For Nick Donahue, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski. This has been a presentation of Brevard Sports Network. Have a great night, everybody.